This is me, naked, unclothed, undressed, under the light of all the gods you dare imagine, waiting to be touched with as many versions of the truth as you can conjure up in your turned off mind. This is me. Give me your theory, give me your opinion, give me your truth, give me your big, bad, holy book.
For it is written in the great book of multiculturalism that the curry will blend with the shepherd's pie and the afro hairstyle will return. Now let me hear you say multiculture. Multiculture. Amen. Let me hear you say roti roti. Roti roti. Hey women, I may not get there with you, my friend, but I have seen that time, and as an equal opportunities poet, it pleases me to give you this opportunity to share my vision of hope, and I just hope that you can cope with a future as black as this.
Be nice to your turkeys this Christmas. Because turkeys just want to have fun. Turkeys are cool and turkeys are wicked. And every turkey has a mom. Be nice to your turkey this Christmas. Don't eat it, keep it alive. It could be your mate and not on your plate. Say, yo turkey, I'm on your side. And, you know, I'll be really honest with you. I have been bullied and I have been a bully. You know, so why was I a bully? Because I hung out with some friends who were bullies. And so to fit in, you know, I had to go along with them. When I started thinking for myself, I realized, what am I doing? Especially after I was bullied. I went to a school once where I was the only black kid. Yeah, I was bullied by the kids and I was bullied by the teachers. Could you imagine? There was nowhere to go. And I'd go home to my parents and they'd say, you know, son, we are guests in this country, it's just what we got to put up with. When you're with people who are doing criminal activity, it takes over. Mm. So we go into the bull ring and we are looking at how people are carrying their bags and their wallets. That's what we're looking for, you know. Mm-hmm. And strange enough, it's still a habit I got today. The other day I was on an escalator and a woman was standing in front of me with a bag and I took her purse.
You did what?
No, listen, I took her purse and then I tapped her on the shoulder and gave her it back. Because she'd left it, I wanted to show her.
Yeah, the danger.
Because women do that a lot, you know, they put a bag on there and they put the purse in the bag.
Yes, they do it in town as well.
And so I just took it and and she was like, oh my God, and he gave me back. And I said, well, yeah, I don't need to steal. And I just want to show you how easy it was.
Yeah, it is to pinch your purse.
To steal.
Yeah.
So we would go around and we'd say, yeah, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that, I'm going to do that. And pickpocketing, we used to just, it took over.
One thing I got to tell you is that when I got kicked out of school, this teacher said to me, he said, you are going to end up dead or doing a life sentence. That's what she said to me. Could you imagine that? What effect that had upon my juvenile mind? I'm going to end up dead or doing a life sentence. And I thought about it. And I thought, you know, how could you say that to me? How could you say that to me? She said, you are a born failure.
I thought my neighbors formed the axis of evil. I want to go kill people. I've been listening to the wrong radio station. Hey, I was sure I didn't inhale, so why is my mind going stale? I've been listening to the wrong radio station. I was beginning to believe that all Muslims are terrorists. I just could not see what was wrong with me. I gave hungry people hamburgers, you see. I was beginning to believe that our children were better than their children. Their children were dying from terrorism, but I couldn't hear their children call. And a child from Palestine simply didn't count at all. What despair! No children, I was not aware. I have been listening to the wrong radio station. Wake up from your sleep. Wake up from your sleep.
Money make a rich man feel like a big man. It make a poor man feel like a hooligan, a one-parent family feel like a ruffian, and those who have it won't give you anything. Money makes your friend become your enemy. You start seeing things very superficially. Your life is lived very artificially, unlike those who live in poverty. And this brother feels better than the brother next door because this brother's got money and this brother's got more. And this brother thinks that brother's not a brother because he's poor when the brother kills the other. That is economic war. Economic war. This poetry is like a rhythm that drops. The tongue brings a rhythm that shoots like a shot. This poetry is designed for ranting, dancehall style, big mouth chanting. This poetry won't put you to sleep saying, follow me like your blind sheep.
It's like me, I'm
Yeah.
outspoken.
You are.
I have no fear of nobody.
I know.
Do you remember this? We went to a funeral and Mum went up and she did her bit. And it was like poetry. And there was some of me in there, and he came down, and I said something like,
Was it Clarice's son's funeral?
I think so, and I said something like, Mum, God, you really sounded like me, and you went, no, you sound like me.
Yeah, that's
Do you remember?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, because I think in a way,
It's true,
I
I mean,
think he's like me in a lot of ways, even though he's a boy.
Yeah.
Because girls usually like the mom more and boys like the dad, but I think he's like me a lot.
And Bob Marley was a great inspiration to me because in the early 70s, I wrote a letter to him and he replied with a handwritten letter. In fact, I wrote a letter and sent him some poems, and it was just like, you know, I'm a poet in England and I just want you to look at these poems and tell me what you think of them. Something that people do to me now all the time. And he sent me back a handwritten letter that just said something simple as keep going, I love your poetry, and he said, Britain needs you. And I remember that, Britain needs you. You've got to keep doing this. And I thought, right, if he's given me his approval, then I'm going to keep doing it. And it was a great inspiration, and that's why now when people write me letters, I try and answer all of them, because I know how much that reply from Bob Marley meant to me.
Things are getting tight, you know, and I get to a point where it gets really serious. Some of my friends got in trouble in a bad way, so they got really long sentences. A couple of my other friends ended up being shot. And I ended up kind of sleeping with a handgun underneath my pillow. And I remember thinking about that teacher saying that I'm going to end up dead or doing a life sentence. And then seeing some of my friends ending up dead and doing life sentences. And I just thought, I've got to prove my teacher wrong. I've got to do something about this. And I woke up one day and just said, that's it. I don't want to do this anymore.
Black people no run away. We have to stand and fight for another day. My people no run away. We have to stand and fight them anywhere. Them have a little power and know them want devour the disabled, single parents and the blacks. Them say them spending money in a bid to make you happy, but the truth is that you just cannot relax.